everyone, and welcome back to Financial Wealth Community. I'm Jackie Stewart, your host on this channel. Okay, so in the UK, October is Black History Month. So I'm going to be celebrating some incredible historical people that are really inspiring. So I want us to kick off with an incredible story. So it's of an entrepreneur who had determination and financial success. Her name is Madam C.J. Walker. She was actually born Sarah Breedlove in 1887, and her story has really inspired me as she achieved financial success as an African American woman. And it was during a time when there was extreme racial and gender inequality. So, who was Madam C.J. Walker? Well, let me give you a little bit on her background. So, she was born Sarah Breedlove in 1867. Now, Madam C.J. Walker was the first child in her family born into freedom after the emancipation. Now, she was orphaned at a young age and faced hardships, a lot of hardships earlier on in life. Definitely no silver spoon was in her mouth. However, she struggled with hair loss. So what she did was she developed a hair care product specifically for Black women. And that was the beginning of her success. So Madam C.J. Walker, she became America's first female self-made millionaire. Yes, she did. And how did she do it? Well, she achieved this over a century ago. A century ago, when all the odds were stacked against her. Can you believe it, right? She actually started off as a laundress and a domestic worker. So where you start, I think it was a preacher, I don't know who said this, but I heard this recently. Where you start off does not determine your destination. So remember that. Some of you out there who are thinking, I have nothing to offer, I don't even know where to start, or I'm just this, I'm just that. Doesn't matter. It doesn't determine your destination. Let's hear more about Madam C.J. Walker. So she had a problem, and what she did was she found a solution that she could sell, right? Her determination, her drive to overcome any obstacle in her way. Because imagine, if you think back to that time, she's everything's against her. She's a woman, okay? And then the racial tension that's going on there. How could this woman find a solution to a problem? And not just that, but then find someone to sell it to. But you know what she did? By overcoming those obstacles, poverty, racism, gender equality, she found her market. She found who she needed to sell to, and that was her own Black woman. So she started to build her empire. But guess what? She didn't just sell the hair product to help with the hair loss. She sold other items. She sold like the hot comb. Now, I'm a woman of a certain age, but guess what? I had that hot comb in my hair. Yes, I did. That hot comb is part of my history. That's what we used to use to straighten our hair. So I had the pleasure of using that, or the displeasure actually. When my sister used to hot comb my hair for me, she would find hair that I didn't think existed, like somewhere down in my face. And you imagine the heat and the scared. I was so scared that she was going to burn me. But Madam C. Walker found a target audience. She found a market. Back then, people wanted to straighten their hair, and she found a way that they could do it. So that's what she did. Now let's look at her financial success. So her business was established in the United States, but it was also in the Caribbean as well. And so I think it was 13 years that they said from my research, 13 years. In 13 years, her business was generating over 500,000 US dollars annually. Now that's back in the 20th century. Do you know what that probably is in real time now? That's equivalent to millions. I think about 10 millions it's equivalent to today. But she didn't just sell her products. What she did is she then started to invest her money. So all this money that she was making, and she invested it in real estate, including a famous mansion that she started, which is in Irvington in New York. And I think it's known as Villa Luaro. I think it's still there now. I think it's since been sold, but her and her daughter was instrumental in obtaining that mansion. So go and look it up. That's your homework. Go and look up the story. So that's not all she did. She invested, right? So she sold a product and then she actually invested the money that she had. However, here is what I think is the icing on the cake. She was a philanthropist. Yes, she was. That means that she donated her time. She donated her money. She used her experience and her skills, and she used it not just for herself, but to help create a better world. So when those negative stories that we tell ourselves about money pops into our head, yeah, remember the good things that money can do with the right heart. So she acquired all of this wealth, and yes, I'm sure she lived a very good life, but look how hard she worked for it. Look where she was coming from. But then she also used it to empower her community. She used it to give back. Her focus wasn't just on her personal wealth, but she was committed to philanthropy. She donated to causes like the NAACP. She's created a lot of scholarships for African American women so that they could go ahead and get employed. She employed a lot of them as well so that they could go ahead and create their own wealth. What a story, right? So she created economic independence for others. That's what you can do with money, right? It's not just for you to just use on yourself, and you can do what you want with it. I mean, I'm not here to tell you what to do with it, but my heart is always to build wealth and to help my community. So each one teach one. I talk about that a lot, right? So social impact is so important, and she was able to influence people. And even up to this day, she continues to influence modern Black women entrepreneurs. She also organized the first national convention of women entrepreneurs. What a bold and empowering move. If her story doesn't inspire you, I don't know what will. What you need to do is go and watch her story. I think, yeah, there was a show on Netflix I watched all about her, but also do your own research as well. So there's some lessons that we can learn from Madam C.J. Walker. She was innovative. She had a problem and she found a solution. Her branding, that's one of my things that I probably least like to do as an entrepreneur. But she was bold with hers. Her picture was the face of everything, all her advertising. It was on all the products and everything. So everyone knew who she was. And she empowered communities, right? So she didn't keep all that knowledge to herself. She empowered communities. And then she built generational wealth. She is a symbol of financial independence and Black entrepreneurship. And her legacy shows that despite overwhelming odds, when we look at our situation and our circumstances, success is achievable with vision, with perseverance, and with a commitment to uplifting others. Let me end this video with a quote from Madam C.J. Walker herself. She said, "I had to make my own living and my own opportunity, but I made it. Don't sit down and wait for opportunities to come." She said, "Get up and make them." Thank you guys for watching this video. Look in the description, you will see a link to a quiz that I've created for you to find out where you stand on your journey to building wealth. See if that can help you to find out where you may be stuck. So have a go, click on the link and complete that quiz. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, and what do? We share, share, share. See you on the next video.